Hello, everyone. Welcome. I hope everyone's doing fantastic today. It's going to be something different for today. It's just going to be me speaking on effort. Okay? Effort, team building, leadership, fans, the whole nine. First off, as someone that is a sports fan, I like to see great teams play. I do understand that there has to be good teams and bad teams. Totally understand that. But when a team is in a very lucrative market, hello, Emmanuel. Thank you for coming. When you're in a lucrative market as New York, and you are the New York Mets, who and then after the World Series, they were on the hunt to get this wonderful generational offensive juggernaut in Juan Soto. They paid this man $600 million over 15 years. That's a chunk of change. You figure, right? And every Met fan was boasting, yipping, gay kissing one another the whole nine, thinking they got themselves a World Series capable team. The problem is that if your team can't hit, what difference does it make if a player that at minimum gets like 3 at bats in a game, who can only affect the game with how many people that precede this great player get on base and whatnot? They figure they got it well. Problem is that this Mets team cannot fucking hit. They could not fucking hit last year. They couldn't even hit the year prior to that. They are so inconsistent of hitting that they're beside themselves. They paid this man all the money. The man has not really produced, like this $500 million player has not fucking produced at all. Your other fucking golden gooses have not fucking produced at all. No one can produce. They make basic trades, doesn't fucking help. They make trades for pitching, doesn't fucking help. Nothing helps. It would take a pitcher having a very bad day. It would take a stroke of luck. It would take God Himself to to give to cut these motherfuckers a break. And it's amazing. And like I said, the New York Yankees are no better. They're just wound up in the head. But the Met fan was so unbearable. Talk about they got themselves the kingmaker. They say they have the piece to go to the World Series, and then all of a sudden they want to make concessions. They want to make fucking excuses. Oh, don't worry, he's gonna one show is gonna get hot. Don't worry, it's a sub. It'll be there. Don't worry this. Don't worry about that. At some point, these are players that individually and the other teams they were hot. They were great hitters. The reason why they got paid 350, 225, 500 million. And the great thing about the sport that we call baseball is the fact that the contracts are guaranteed. So guess what? If you suck, If there is no trade value for you, your contract is guaranteed. They have to pay you the rest of the money. No matter what, you get let go, they have to pay you your money. So now they're stuck. So this bench team is stuck. They're top heavy. The first, second, third, fourth batters are top heavy. They can't hit. They can't field. They can't bunt. They can't do anything. It's amazing. It's amazing how money does not change anything. But still, the Met team is going to continue being strong. The Met team is still going to believe in the idea that they could make a playoff spot. Like I said, if you are scratching and clawing your way for a playoff spot, and you just happen to go like over the wall, not climb the wall, but you get to the top and you just sink over the top, there is a small minute chance you might make noise in the playoffs. But teams that kind of sink over the wall tend to be sacrificial lambs for the teams that really hustled, really bustled, really did what they could do to get this spot. They train, they hit, they feel it, they pitch, they fall harder in battles with their rivals within the division. And here comes teams like the Mets that kind of should have got over the hump, and then they become slaughtered, and it becomes a lost season. It becomes lost, and there's nothing to build upon it. At some point, these these players, these individual players that you pay money for, the players that you snatch from free agency and other teams, and you gave them these exorbitant amount of money because you believe they could be offensive. Uh, they could be an offensive difference. They can't hit. Today they almost got no hit by the Cleveland Guardians. Like, imagine that you almost got no hit by a team that's not as good as you, that's on the come up. Only reason they would not no hit was because Juan Soto just hits a solo home run, and that was the end of that. The one hit became the one run, and that was it. And they got swept. Something needs to change with this team. Something needs to change about how leadership is being portrayed. Something needs to change with you got how teams are how players are selected. Something has to change with these contracts. The fact that you pay one man $500 million and all he can do is solo shots, solo shots, solo shots, and walk a lot and become a defensive liability, it doesn't help. And I will grant the Mets fans this. That sure it's not all of Juan Soto's fault. He just stuck with what he has to deal with in the front and the back of the lineup. Of course, great. But the thing is that if the moment the problem is like he has to be productive, not hot, not streaky, not hit every game, but it has to be a point where you cannot be a 1 for 3, 1 for 5. Like he has to get on base, but the problem is that the people before him don't know on base for him to drive in runs. And yes, that's also the other problem. If there is people in scoring position, or on base. He doesn't drive them in. He just ends up getting a walk. Or he gets strikes out looking. That's the craziness too. This team doesn't hit with runners in scoring position. They are allergic to hitting properly. Fucking Tony Gwynn from the San Diego Padres. Motherfucker died of mouth cancer because of all the chewing tobacco. Was able to refine the art of hitting. Pete Rose fucking died. Never got into the Hall of Fame. Was a hit king with 4,000 plus innings. You mean to tell me that no one decided to go to Pete Rose and ask how the fuck to hit? No one knows how to fucking hit? There's no one has the capacity to go and learn how to? Is that the it I didn't say hitting a fucking major league fastball is hard. But at this point, if you get paid big money to do it, it's because you've been doing it in other scenarios, in other ways. I mean, sorry, in other teams, in other cities, in different environments, you were able to produce. Why the fuck you can't produce here? You should have got to make it like a one-on-one thing. You versus the pitcher. That's it. Fuck the dimensions of the stadium. Fuck everything. Hit the fucking ball. Get on base. And they can't do it. What the fuck does a Mets player think they can do when they go to like a big team area, like in LA, like a fucking Milwaukee, like even the Cubs, like whatnot. That's hard. That's fucking hard for them. It drives me crazy. But again, you have passionate, endearing fans that believe in the team, and that's great. I wish them nothing but success. I do hope they could get their shit together and realize that time is ticking on the season. You don't want this to be a wasted season. You don't want to waste all those rentals arms. You don't want to waste the prime of Juan Soto's career. You don't want to do any of that stuff. So I hope the best for them on that. But the second part I wanted to talk about a few things in terms of the wrestling stuff. So I watched SummerSlam. It was in New York. It was in New Jersey, and I love I love the main event. Okay, but before anything, off the top of my head, you had the matches that stand out to me was the TLC match. We got six teams. Do tables, ladders, and chairs. It was crazy. It was just chaotic. There were some teams that didn't even show up. Like you had. It got to a point where like certain teams either got destroyed or they were never a factor into it. Then you have women come in to try to get the briefcase, which doesn't make any logistical sense because they're not in the in the team tag team. Women got a lot of spots. They did table spots. It was a whole mess. And the thing is that the majority of the pay per view was passable. It was okay. But the thing is, these main events, when the pay per view, the PLE, excuse me, was 2 nights. Um, 2 nights and ticket prices are exorbitant. Your best chance for a decent ticket would be all the way in the nosebleeds. Anything further down where a good seat would be like in the 500s, thousands, even 2000s. Gotta help you if you want to be on the floor itself, but I digress. The thing is that the night one main event was scheduled to have the wrestlers Seth Rollins, I'm sorry, was scheduled to have Gunther versus CM Punk. Gunther, who is a powerhouse, strong as a bull, like chops like an axe, and CM Punk, who at this day and age is just around that old jalopy. Like he's good, but it's like there's a reason why he only ever wrestles pay-per-views and doesn't do TV because the man gets blown up like no one's business. So you have this match. Gunther's dominating. He's beating the shit out of him, and then for just one fuck up, Gunther goes on the table. He waves to the crowd like, "Yeah, I got this person." Granted, no one's counting. The referee's like doing a 10 count because the both of them are in the ring. No one's counting them. But for some reason, like CM Punk took out Gunther's legs. He hit the table. He's bleeding. He does it. He bleeds his own blood. He gets scared. Then he gets finished twice, and the CM Punk wins the championship. Okay, and then he's having fun. He's gassed, and then Seth Rollins, who wins the Money in the Bank, goes on and it's plain to her how, yeah, I'm injured. You lucky. I'm gonna get you. Blah blah blah. Now every fucking time, Dick and Harry. The moment you saw this man come out, and I don't even remember if he was even on Raw. That's how crazy this is. He comes out on stage, and then he is like, "I'm going to get you. Don't worry about it." He's about to leave, and then, oh wow, he swerved everyone. He's not injured, and he's going to cash in. And I will be honest with you, when he cashed in, he beat the shit out of Punk. He hit him in the head. He with the suitcase. He hit him everywhere with the suitcase. Like he was just ravaged. And he curb stomped him for the win. The thing is the thing is, it was not. It wasn't anything special because I think everyone had in their minds that Seth Rollins was going to cash in. Nothing about the injury he sustained a couple of weeks ago was didn't feel legit. And the thing is that I don't know if you I don't know if people were expecting it to be a shock, but it wasn't anything special. And the problem is that when it comes to WWE, it doesn't give you the warm fuzzy feeling like it did back in the day. There wasn't an instance where you were generally surprised at an outcome, or a return, or or a match itself. There isn't any. This is awesome chance. There wasn't. If you look at this pay-per-views itself, I do not think there was ever a "this is awesome" chance. And there were a few streamers that were like live reacting to the SummerSlam pay-per-view, and then some were insinuating like, oh, because it's a because it's a dome, because it's an arena. You can't really capture the noise. And then I made a point of saying that, but wait, there are football games being done here. What are you talking about? The noise in a football game is like screaming loud. I'm confused. And then they have to be like, oh, yeah, you're right about that. I so there shouldn't be any excuse for a product that give people the feeling of, hey, this is amazing wrestling. It feels like show by the numbers. And again, it's not talent; it's the booking. And I feel like the way they they do wrestling, I feel as though it's so stiff. And I know that it's stiff because it's trying to minimize injuries, but I think when it comes to WWE, they and forget about everyone else's ratings and publications and whatnot. That's conjecture, that's opinion, that's whatever, right? But when the audience is not giving a fuck about what you have on the match, if people are not really reacting unless it's if the majority of your pay per view people don't give a fuck about, but then they give a fuck about the main event, that's not good because it just shows that your audience doesn't give a fuck about the other stars. And again, they're very limited of the stars they can and should make. But then in night two, you have to see you had to see Cody Rhodes and uh, John Cena. And people were into it. It was a street fight. People, were going crazy for it. But it got to a point where it was like you use weapons and then you do everyone did. But then the finisher like hit you with something finisher, hit you with this finisher. It was like, oh, I got you dazed, now I'm gonna hit you with my finisher, yay! Like it wasn't like it wasn't as though they were trying to make the event or the match exciting. It's like they were trying to see who could hit their finisher the best and fastest. And then finally, it got to a point where like Cena just ran out of gas. Like he couldn't spam the finisher button anymore. And Cody wins, and everyone was yay, kind of yay for Cody, and Cena was like in the middle of the ring, happy. And then you have Brock Lesnar come out. People in this were excited about that. And people like Brock great. The problem is that Brock never got cleared from his lawsuit. And he was accused of things. And it looks kind of weird. It's like it it's kind of like he's working while going through an investigation. It wasn't as though that it was as if he decided it was as if the company decided to let him work while dealing with a court case. Like it was like petty robbery, but like it's okay, we'll let you play and compete while you under investigation, which is weird. Was disappointed when I saw Brock, but happy when Seth took that championship. Oh yeah, yep. I was okay with you, but the problem is that with W with with Brock and with most of the money makers, they're all part timers. You rarely see these people perform at all. It's like they come in, they do their thing, they talk, they promo, they kind of scuffle in the back, and then everyone else that's not a star, that's not the A list, just does basic matches. That doesn't steal the show. You have this gimmick, like, watch, Friday you're gonna have Cena and Brock confront each other. They'll do a promo battle, but no one, but they're not gonna fight. And then you're just gonna have the B list and C list wrestlers come in, and then they're gonna perform, and nothing's gonna make a difference. The things that the people they want to see, they never compete at all. Your champions, your top champions, male championship, are all part timers. Maybe Seth's not gonna be a part timer. We'll see. But Roman's a part timing. Fucking Cena has one foot out the door. Cody's gonna be part timing because he's gonna do the Street Fighter movie. No one really fights. And then when it comes to fight, when it comes to anyone competing for a championship, no one believes anyone's gonna win. It takes swerves and it takes bullshit for anyone to win. No one wins clean. It takes like with Gunther, it took him fucking up to lose the championship. It took him bleeding and him being scared of his own blood to lose to an old man Punk. Gunther, a person who in the beginning of his WWE career was a monster, someone who you were afraid to fight. And of course he had that amazing high tier match with Ilya Dragunov in NXT UK, bonkers 5-star match. It was like give and take, right? And you go from that to fucking him winning the Intercontinental Championship. He loses to Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. Sami doesn't do anything with the fucking title. No one gives a fuck about his reign. Gunther goes on and wins the championship against Damian Priest. Has a reign. No one gives a fuck about the reign because he doesn't fight anyone worthy. He doesn't fucking fight any of the top baby faces. Nothing memorable. He goes to WrestleMania to fight Jey Uso. He gets fucking submitted by Jey Uso. What the fuck? He taps out. Then they hop into then they say, "Well, we're weak. We'll let you lose." Jay will lose. Jay will lose to Gunther, just so that it'll be Gunther versus Goldberg, which was whatever. The championship makes no sense, and Cody's the same fucking way. Sure, Cody has the nice entrance themes, and he got the championship, and he's being treated like royalty. I don't know if it's because of him or it's because he produced a wonderful second option, and they just wanted to hurt Tony by taking away Cody Rhodes. But regardless of how you feel about AEW or whatnot, look at Cody's reign by himself, and you tell me if it's worth a piss. You tell me if he has this dominant, amazing, glorious reign. His fucking title reign was ended by a fucking rapper walking down the aisle while his song Fiend comes in, and then he loses to John Cena because of a fucking crotch shot and a fucking bullshit AA. The whatever. Now he gets the championship. We'll see how the fuck that goes. And the crazy thing is, oh look, watch out, folks. Next month, oh no, next year, all major paper, I'm sorry, all major PLEs, premium live events, will be going on ESPN. If you want to watch the wrestling on ESPN, instead of paying 15 like you do on Peacock, you have to pay 30 for ESPN. That's a gut punch. So now if you want to watch all of the PLEs, $30 a month. Isn't that grand? Remember the good old days when WWE Network was only $5.99, and for $5.99 you could just watch a thing. Even CM Punk before he defected to before he left WWE, I made us think about it on Era One and be like, how are we making any money with the PLEs? Like it used to be $50, we used to make this amount and this amount. I guess now TKO, who owns WWE, decided, hey, why not leave NBC, go to ESPN, and then we can make $30 a pop. These fans are going to do it. Who gives a fuck, right? They'll do anything we want. They spent their hard-earned money on mediocre product, but they don't give a fuck about cheering and chanting for their favorite wrestlers. They thought no one gives a fuck. They were in New York on Monday. No one gave a fuck. And that's amazing. That is truly amazing. I mean, there would be people that be paying $30. There would be people that are diehard WWE fans that will pay that money so they can I respect that. So it's like what are you gonna do? Like what will you be doing if it's $30 a month? And are you gonna eat it? Are you gonna do it? Or are you guys gonna be like, fuck, I'll look at Twitter and then Twitter will tell me what to do. It's all about perspective. It's all about your fandom and what you're willing to do to pay for that fandom. If you believe in the product, do whatever you want. But if you feel in your heart of hearts your money will be wasted on bullshit, imagine you pay $30 and then you're watching this PLE and they just shit the bed with botches, with inconsistent booking, with fucking lackluster motivation from the athletes. At some point, you gotta give it up and demand better. You want better. You deserve better. You earn better. And stuff. But finally, let me move on to the final topic at hand. Uh, uh, the final topic at hand is everything in between. And everything in between, well, um, well, everything in between will be going over some very interesting and very spicy YouTube stuff. If I could get this. Okay. I got I fucked up. 1 second. Oh, go here, edit this, edit this. Perfect. Give me 1 second. Uh, One thing I don't understand is why. There you go. So that's just a colon thing in case. Oh, I'll be moving on to the YouTube part of things. Now, lately, I've been looking on YouTube and I've been seeing a lot of shenanigans regarding the very powerful Mutahar, aka Samurai Game. I have, to be quite honest, I did not realize there was so much bullshit with him. I did not expect there to be so much dirt on him, from engineering to the weird Nuck stuff to the fact that he he decided to shun Nux, then apologized to Nux, then took the apology away, and then whatever he flip flopped so fucking much. It's outstanding. And it then help things. And fucking Mama Max decided to do an expose on fucking Mutahar. And like a lot of people were like, "Oh, we don't believe in Mama Max. Mama Max is a trusted news source." And then all of a sudden, a couple of weeks to months later, Reddit blows up, information blows up, and now you have a lot of holes into the ego of Mutahar. And what this tells me is that anyone can get caught. Everyone, and anyone has skeletons in their closet. Everyone has, everyone talks too much on the internet. Everyone is susceptible of it. And it's all a matter of how you react to it. It's all of a matter of how you decide to take the situation head on. Hell, even Muno had a bull had a dumb had a dumb controversy because of the Nintendo Switch 2. Mans decided to talk shit about the Nintendo Switch 2. He decided that, oh, Nintendo Switch 2 is bad, it's a bad consumer practice, it's a bad product, it's not worth your money, you shouldn't do it. If you do it, you're a bad person, that type of rhetoric. And then he just happened to go and run into a Best Buy or whatever it is, and just wait online during the midnight release on a gag, and he bought a fucking Switch 2. Now, again, he apologized like he cheated on his girlfriend. He apologized like he wanted to get out of being punished by the school. He apologized so profusely, like he was trying to prevent an ass whipping from his mother. Just because he bought a console that he said that everyone should not buy. It has gotten to a point where the arrogance, the up nosedness that Mutahar had portrayed during Local Live against the whole Boogie faking cancer arc, was something that bit him in the ass because there was so much that he could have cut this off at the neck. He could have like when the whole next thing came about, he could have like nipped that in the bud, but he didn't. He just went so gaslight fucking child logic to say that that I never said the podcast ended because of nuts or whatnot, and then Chud calls him out and War doesn't know what to say. He's like, oh okay, but for someone that's made a living on YouTube, for someone that's been around circles of prominent YouTube commentators and creators, you would think that Moonhart knows how to circumvent nonsense and bullshit stories and allegations. But see, again, this is what happens when you don't curate what the hell you are saying with people. That's the problem. A second. And because of that, you end up having people not care about you. You just have not care about who people not care about who you are, but they just then decided to see what other stuff you're hiding, and they found the fact that Moonhart lied up like was bullshitting about being an engineer, which could cause major fines and issues on his side of the fence. The fact that there was a recent thing about him having alternative lifestyle stuff with another guy, which is whatever. There's not a big deal about that. But the major ones was like the next stuff, where he was like he kind of condoned Nux's stuff. Like he had like Nux had a past. He didn't want to cut ties with it. He liked his friend, but then he wanted to play both sides of the fence. It was weird. Max called him out for it, but people kind of took Moonhorse's side because it's Max, and Max was not trustworthy. But laid the groundwork for other people to just flush him out. Like at this point, it's like unbearable for Moonhorse. I'm guessing. I'm guessing people are just like done with him. There'll be some tried and true fans. There will be people that like love Moonhorse, but it's funny that Moonhorse went from like I'm going to do tech news, right? I'm going to do tech news, and then it went from going to tech news to drama. Uh, and then, one second. And then it went from tech news to drama to doing investigative journalism with The Completionist, which, unfortunately, which I need to really figure out what the fuck happened with the completionist story. Cause it's like you had you had like Jobs or whatever, Carl Jobs. You had someone like Carl Jobs who uh, who decided that he wants to go to war with Billy Mitchell, gets his ass handed to him. It's basically facing bankruptcy. Allegedly had scammed his fans out of money. Because he believed that he was going to win the lawsuit against Billy Mitchell. And then, like, he really put his foot in this mat with that one. Then you have Muhar, uh, being being what he was. It's like I don't. At this point, I question the methodology on how they got the information with the completionist regarding the charity. Like, I guess they did get it right. It's interesting how like they took down the completionist, and then a couple of months later they get individually taken out by one by the Billy. I'm sorry, Carl got taken down by his nemesis Billy Mitchell, and the other is because Moonheart didn't know how to properly explain the whole situation with Nux, and then he panicked, fucked around, and then he made a mistake. He decides to move away from drama. Like, I'm only gonna be a tech channel, guys. Didn't even do that properly. And now it's like I guess he's in hiding and whatnot. It's really interesting stuff. I will say that YouTube has been fascinating to say the least on that point. Um, there's some other stuff. Again, I am way out of touch with the other stuff that's going on. Um, like I don't know if HVH3 is even a thing. I don't know if the lawsuit is. I'm lost on the lawsuit. I'm lost on the stuff with Freeman and Nicholas Yorio. I am a bit lost when it comes to what's the call it. I'm lost. I mean I'm kind of catching up with Murahara right now. But yeah, pirate software again. That's a whole nother point of like instead of like admitting that you're wrong about something and just admitting your fault on something. He let this thing fester like a fungus, and then it went from like pirate software um not supporting the initiative of not allowing games to die so quickly. Like if you pay for a live service, like let's say you play Battlefield 5 or whatnot, it's not once the game is done, once it's over, you still could play the game just for bots and stuff or whatnot, or you can play with your friends or whatever the case is. But the game's not done. Games that are like PvP heavy, that the game company moved on and they want to shut down, it's still your game. You pour money for that game. Just because the company shut down doesn't mean the game should stop. People who bought the game have a right to continue to play it. But Pirate Software looked it otherwise, and then double down, and triple down, and quadruple down, and then they went from that to like being exposed to not working on this game to then having people play his game and finding out the game is trash, which is funny. Where people have actually looked into the code of the game and then they just notice that it's shit code. Like all of this, the thing about the game, the thing about the delay in the production of the game, all of this was fine up until he decided to not support an initiative, and also threw his WoW Raiders under the bus because he said that he knows what he's doing and they fucked up getting themselves killed with the arrogancy or whatnot. So you have the wild thing and you have this one. Because of that, people dig deep again because once a creator has a little bit of a fold, people want to dig and dig until there's nothing left. It's like a rat who is stuck, and the only way they could go about it is just to go in. Once they find an opening, they attack that point until they could burrow down into it. And that's what people are doing. This is why I'm telling you, once you see and hear and smell a prominent creator having one misstep, it's going to be like piranhas in the water. They'll be digging up every little thing. They'll be regurgitating every past drama. Maybe the past drama will reinstitute new stuff. You never know. Because our pirate reputations in the toilet, Murder Horse reputations in the toilet, who's next? Who's next in the YouTube Deadpool career edition? Who the fuck is next? I would be interested to see who's next. Because I forgot who else got canceled or who fucked up. But I like I said, there could be plenty of other people that are going about and making mistakes, and they cause themselves major grief. It's amazing. Um, but it's a way of the beast. It's the nature of the beast. Excuse me. It's the nature of the beast. No matter how much you are trying to prevent yourself from fucking up, you will fuck up. Maybe out of a moment of anger, maybe of a moment of panic, but somehow, some way, you're gonna mess up. But you would have to be aware of what you have to be mindful of what you're doing, how you're doing it, and then hopefully you could just apologize, set things right, and make sure you don't do it again, or you or keep a mindset of like don't mess up. I think that's very important. Oh boy. Also, I want to thank everyone for watching the last stream, the last short. Also, thank you to everyone that's watching the local live stuff. The latest one was pretty good, I will say that. For anyone that watched the last one, it was interesting to see local alerts talk about him wanting to be part of the main local universe. I will say that I will say that you have to understand that in business you cannot dictate what you can and cannot do. Like, it also doesn't come with the fact that he says she's not a content creator. The local alert says she's not a content creator, but he does these clips. And so I don't know if you're saying that you're not original content creator, but you are making content out of the clips. So technically you are, but that doesn't excuse the fact that you are someone that doesn't know how Discord works, that you don't know how negotiations work. That makes no sense. Also, in order for you to get docs, you would need to put your real name in your Discord thing when you create it. So unless you made your real name in your Discord thing, you cannot get docs. That's the word to it wise. Also, it doesn't help the fact that it doesn't help the fact that you're making everyone don't antagonize people if you're trying to do a service. Like you just need to show why you are worth it. Okay? And also you cannot take every adulation, every happiness for as a sign of like, oh, team likes me. Team shouted me out. But I didn't take it as like, oh, he really likes me. Oh my god, that's so cool. Maybe I could cash out. But no, that's not the case. It was a good moment. People high five me and say good job, Huggy. They're pretty cool and whatnot. Great. I'm happy about that. But you gotta just take your own time. And also don't tell people that you take the profits from Local Live or your clip channel and then just give it back. Like, don't be desperate. Uh, I don't know if you talked about it, but apparently, General Grant cleared Lesnar of any wrongdoing, saying that nothing happened between the two despite Vince's best efforts. Oh yeah, I got that report and I got the report. I got that, but like also people saying he's not officially clear. So I was like, I don't really give a like I. Some people are going to get mean over it. Some people are going to be a little iffy on it. Like I said, it's what the company wants. And again, from what I understood from the lawsuit, Vince was like putting in the contract that he wanted Janelle to be the stuff that took it over the top, but he never did anything with it. Um, so I understand that. And the interesting part is like, why mention him in the suit if he didn't do anything? Like that, I don't understand. Like there was a bit of insinuation on on how naming him in the deposition. That's all. Well, I gathered from is that Lesnar legit wanted nothing to do with was one of Vince's ideas. So to me, no, like I don't have anyone being back. Like I said, there will be people that will make an issue. Well, people will think that oh, Legend's coming back, so that means Vince is coming back. And they mean this other person's coming back. They think it's going to be avalanche effect. And I will tell you this. I will tell you this. Let Triple H not be creatively sound. Let fucking Triple H not make people want to pay the $30 or whatever in next year. And people not giving a fuck about the product like they do. Bet you dollars to donuts, he will be out and Vince will come back. Watch. Because you remember something, it's not a criminal case, it's a civil case. This could be settled automatically. He could just pay her money, she could shut the fuck up, everything could get sealed, then fucking let Triple H fuck up one time, and then he'll go back and have reigns over the power, and then we'll see. We'll go from there. But, thank you for the update, Wolf. I appreciate that. But let me just say this. one final thing on local life stuff. The thing is that you can't you cannot expect that just because you throw money back at someone doesn't mean that people are going to instantly want you back. You have to ask yourself this: what makes me different from everyone else? What's the 1% thing I'm better at every one of these other clip channels? And what can I do to make that 1% into the full 100%? Just because you do clips locale or low, does what does it mean? Like, what makes you different from everyone else? What makes you the clipper of everything? That's the thing you have to ask yourself. Okay, if you want to be an employer of Keemstar, if you truly want to be part of this locale live universe, there are people that clip locale live. They do it because it's fun, it's interesting, and it helps people catch up with the live stuff, so they can be better prepared for the current theme that's coming up. So that's just my little food for thought about that as well too. But I want to say thank you for everyone that's coming in. It's very nice for people to drop in, say what's up. It's very nice. I appreciate it. With that being said, I hope everyone has a wonderful night. Thank you everyone for coming in. Super chat, super thanks, super chat, super like, super everything. Appreciate